What up, everybody? This is your boy Blak Magus, and I finally got to catch up with some gaming stuff. In particular, the February Sony State of Play. Um, Work's been busy. It's been crazy as hell. Life, of course, is crazy as hell. But hey, what's new? But finally, got to sit down, check out what was going on, and see for myself whether or not it was worth it. And I gotta say, it definitely was worth spending the time watching this PlayStation State of Play. Like, sometimes they're very much misses, but the hits generally hit really hard. Like, I feel like they're usually mid more than anything. They're usually not hit or miss, but just like okay. And this one was definitely above okay. This was a really good one. Lots of stuff shown, lots of interesting things shown. Even more so, seemed more on brand with like PlayStation's identity. Like, maybe I'm the only person left alive that feels this way, but Sony used to have a very unique identity of its own, just like all other platforms did. Xbox is very much, a place for shooters and action and online play. Being an American company, a very Americanized style of thing. Nintendo very much do what they want, come up with different unique things while having some very interesting and unique characters and just different worlds within their ecosystem, and like just doing their own thing, not necessarily like trying to be like everybody else. Sony was kind of a hybrid. Like, they do games of all genres, but there's a significant Japanese influence in leaning to the things like JRPGs and Japanese action games and things like that were very much a huge staple. And of course, over the I would say last 10, maybe even 10 to 15 years, it's been mainly kind of trying to match the Microsoft style while drawing a bit away from their roots. And I think that was reflected in their management, especially when Jim Ryan was in charge, making it more of a Western centric type of vibe to it, which a lot of people also accompany with what they think like now is kind of Sony kind of falling off a bit. But I was very, very pleased with this one because it was like, yeah, this is the type of like shit that got me into PlayStation when I first got one. When I got the PlayStation 1, these type of games were the things that attracted me. Even if I didn't like all of them, or I didn't necessarily want to play all of them, I liked the vibe is what attracted me, and definitely did this with this one. A good mix of some and Western games, but kind of more the old school influence of the stuff. Like, you look at the PlayStation, Sony's in-house studios, and they've always carried this whole era of like, we're going to do certain things within certain genres that are well known, but we're going to try to do them in a little different way. And that's why they've established the characters and the franchises that they had, because they weren't just trying to make a copy of other things. And like the games that they seem to have curated for this seem to be that level. Now, most of these, of course, are third-party people, but the level of quirkiness mixed with mainstream stuff. I like it. I dig it very much so. Stuff that stood out to me. One, the level of, like, I guess you could say horror to, suspense games. Like, Directive 8020 looks pretty damn interesting. I'm not a horror person, but that looks really interesting. It's the type of horror that I probably can handle. Like, the Dead Space shit is a little too much for me, but being one of the Dark Pictures games, it kind of, like, I could deal with that. And then they kind of look like they're really interesting story. It's going to be a really interesting story. Hopefully it's executed well. Five Nights at Freddy's is a monster. The fact that this franchise is continually coming out with things is crazy in itself, but at the same time, it's very impressive that they've been able to kind of pivot. Like the Five Nights at Freddy Secret of the Mimic, the fact that it's not just the jump scare thing like it used to be the basic jump scare game. I'm digging that they've like evolved the world. Like, that's the thing, they've evolved. I think that's really, really cool that they were able to do that with the franchise. Again, the quirky, like, little games with Western leaning, Darwin's Paradox, things like that, the Midnight Walk. You get the straight on Japanese type action adventure stuff like Warriors Abyss. The Onimusha 2, I think, is a remaster. You get that in the mix. I'm sorry, it's Onimusha, actually both. They're doing a remake of the first one, and I think there's a new one. I'm not sure, because I'll be honest, I never played Onimusha. That was something that I missed in the catalog. The remake of Snake Eater, again, that was one of those games that had Western influence, but Japanese, like, centric to it. Hell Is Us, that looked interesting too. You're getting some Liza P, a prequel coming, which was a hit game. Days Gone remaster was something that really, like, threw me, because I wasn't expecting that. I really was not expecting them to bring that back. Makes me wonder, are they going to try to bring that franchise back? Because I know a lot of people have said that they thought that it didn't get a fair enough shake, and maybe this remaster is to gauge, like, interest if people are really, really committed to bringing it back. We'll see. Metal Eden, again, that's like, Western centric with the Asian sci-fi vibe to it, to me. It was just a lot. Like, I can keep going through the list. It was like, these are interesting games. They may not be games that I would ultimately want to get, but they all seem pretty, like, into this. There's a hook to them that makes you want to at least see more from what they've shown in this. Now, when you see more, you may not want to play them or not, but everything just seemed pretty interesting to me. You had the Shinobi game, Sonic Racer, another Sonic Racing is always good. They showed another trailer for Split Fiction, which, definitely want to get that. You even got some WWE in there, which is interesting that now they're going to have the island, which means they're doing basically the NBA 2K thing, where I forget what they call it in NBA 2K, but you get the neighborhood. I think it's called the neighborhood, actually, and you can walk around and you can do stuff. But this is the island, which got a statue of Roman Reigns with the Ulafala around his neck, and I guess you're just going around a Samoan island paying tribute to him or something. Who knows? Oh yeah, I forgot. There's DLC for Like a Dragon, which is crazy. It's the pirate thing. I totally forgot about that. Shit, Lost Soul aside, fuck. There's even a Digimon game. Like, everything about this whole thing. Oh, and I can't forget the Monster Hunter. One thing I can forget is Borderlands, because I'm not big on Borderlands, but you even got another trailer for Borderlands. Like, you got a good mix of different games. You didn't get their big first-party studio games that I'm sure a lot of people have complained about not seeing, but you got a good mix of different games, and games that generally have attracted people to the PlayStation platform. I dug it. Like, I really dug it. Curious to see more of all these things. I think Microsoft and Sony, their last two, presentations have been super good. I think Microsoft with the letting the developers sit and talk about the thing, and Sony kind of bit that too. Like, we gotta recognize that, because they did like have people from the development team come out for the most part and introduce certain games or come after and like just give a brief comments and stuff like that. It wasn't done in the presentation style that Microsoft did, which I really enjoyed, but you could tell they were like, okay, we need to not just have our suits or not just do quick clips and not have anything in between. So they tried to infuse a bit of what Microsoft got with their last presentation in there. But yeah, both of them have been really good. Makes me excited about the upcoming April Nintendo Direct, because hopefully they can match the same energy, and especially since their Nintendo Direct is going to be introducing their new console. So yeah, good shit Sony. Definitely like what I saw. Please let me know what you guys think of it, because I'm curious as to what your thoughts were. Again, sorry for being so late with a lot of these subjects that I've been doing lately, but life be lifing, as they say. So with that said, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Blak Magus, and I'm out. Deuces.